1943, millions of pennies were struck using this steel and zinc mixture, which was a radical departure from the usual copper pennies. While the US Mint hoped this change would be temporary, it wasn't as simple as they had hoped. The steel pennies were produced in large quantities, and they had an immediate visual difference from the copper coins the public was used to seeing. Instead of the reddish-brown color typical of copper, these pennies had a silvery, metallic appearance due to the steel and zinc composition. Though it seemed like a simple solution to a wartime problem, it led to unexpected challenges. For one, the steel pennies were prone to rusting, especially if exposed to moisture or humidity. The new coins didn't have the durability of the copper pennies, which were more resistant to corrosion. On top of that, the public was not fond of the new look and feel of the steel pennies. They were lighter and shinier, and many people found them unattractive. Some people even thought they were counterfeit, or saw them as an oddity. As a result, the steel pennies were not popular, and the mint reverted back to copper pennies in 1944, making the 1943 steel penny a one-year-only production. This rarity has made the coin a sought item by collectors, despite its flaws. Now, let's talk about what makes the 1943 steel-wheat penny unique. At first glance, it's easy to mistake it for a regular penny, but a closer look reveals its distinguishing characteristics. Like other wheat pennies, the 1943 steel penny features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, along with the words "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" above the image, and the year 1943 below it. On the reverse, you'll find the famous wheat stocks, along with "E pluribus unum" and 1 cent at the bottom, which are standard for wheat pennies. But the key feature of this penny is, of course, its composition. Unlike regular copper pennies, which have a reddish-brown hue, the 1943 steel penny is bright and shiny, with a silvery, almost metallic finish. Over the years, however, the steel has deteriorated, with many of these coins now showing significantly different from the way it originally appeared. But because of this, you might find your 1943 steel penny looking significantly different from the way it originally appeared. Some have corrosion spots, while others might be so worn down that the design is barely visible. Now, let's address the big question. How much is a 1943 steel-wheat penny worth, especially if it's in poor condition? The answer to that question depends on several factors. But even a steel penny in bad shape can still have value. While the value of a coin is generally determined by its condition, commonly referred to as its grade, the 1943 steel penny is still valuable even in less than perfect condition because of its rarity. Coins that are heavily worn or rusted may not fetch the same high prices as those in excellent condition, but they can still be worth more than their face value of 1 cent. If your 1943 steel penny is heavily worn, corroded, or rusted, you're looking at a value in the range of 10 to 20 cents, depending on how much wear the coin has sustained. While this might not sound like much, keep in mind that the 1943 steel penny is still a relatively rare coin, and collectors are often interested in acquiring them for their historical significance and uniqueness. Even coins in poor condition can sell for more than their face value, particularly if there's a collector out there who is working to complete their collection of wheat pennies or historical coins. Of course, the value of your 1943 steel penny can increase if it's in better condition. Coins with minimal rust or wear, or those that are in excellent condition, can fetch a much higher price, sometimes going for $1 to $5 or more. In fact, some collectors are willing to pay top dollar for 1943 steel pennies in mint or near mint condition. If your penny has been well preserved and shows no significant wear, it might even be worth more than a typical circulated 1943 steel penny. The value can also be influenced by factors like the specific mint mark on the coin, with certain mint marks being rarer than others. It's important to keep in mind that not all 1943 pennies are steel. Some rare 1943 pennies were mistakenly struck in copper due to a mix-up at the mint. These copper versions are incredibly rare and can be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars if found in good condition. But unless your penny looks like a typical copper penny, especially one that has been mistakenly struck in 1943, it's safe to assume you have a steel penny, which is still quite valuable, even if it's a bit worse for wear. So, how do you go about selling a 1943 steel-wheat penny, especially if it's in poor condition? First, it's a good idea to take the time to properly assess your coin. You might want to get it graded by a professional numismatist, or a grading service if you're unsure about its condition or value. For coins in poor condition, grading might not significantly increase the value, but it can give you a clearer understanding of what your coin is worth. If you're looking to sell, there are several avenues to consider. Local coin shops might offer you a reasonable price for your coin, but online auctions and platforms like eBay are also great places to sell your penny. When listing your coin online, be sure to provide clear, high-quality photos showing both sides of the penny so buyers can assess the condition and authenticity. Next up, the 1943 steel-Wheat penny is one of the most interesting and rare coins in American numismatics. To understand why this coin holds such significance, we need to look at its history, features, and how it compares to other coins from the same year. The 1943 steel-Wheat penny was produced during World War II, when the US faced a shortage of copper due to the war effort. In order to conserve copper for military supplies, the US Mint decided to switch the composition of the penny from its usual copper to steel. These steel pennies were then coated with zinc to prevent rusting and maintain some shine. The transition to steel pennies was a temporary wartime measure, but it led to one of the most unusual and sought-after coins in US history. The S in 1943, ES, stands for the San Francisco Mint, where the coin was produced. The mint mark is located on the obverse of the penny, just below Abraham Lincoln's portrait. The 1943 S steel penny, like all pennies minted that year, has the familiar design of the Lincoln wheat cent, with the words, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty" on the reverse, and the 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse, surrounding the words, "1 cent." While millions of 1943 steel pennies were produced, the 1943 steel penny is of particular interest to collectors. The San Francisco Mint produced a total of 191 million of these steel pennies, making it one of the more common varieties of the 1943 steel penny. However, it is still highly sought after because of its rarity in certain conditions and its unique historical background. The value of the 1943 steel-Wheat penny largely depends on its condition. In poor condition, such as those that are heavily rusted or worn, a 1943 steel penny might only fetch a few cents over its face value. However, if the coin is in better shape, it can be worth significantly more. For example, in good or fine condition, the coin could sell for around $1 to $3, while uncirculated examples can bring in much higher prices, sometimes reaching $10 to $20 or more, depending on the quality. A major factor in determining the value of a 1943 steel penny is its preservation. Since steel pennies were prone to rust, finding one in excellent condition is rare. The key to identifying a well-preserved 1943 steel penny is the absence of rust spots, clear, readable details on the design, and minimal wear on the edges. A well-preserved steel penny could fetch hundreds of dollars, especially if it's in mint state with a sharp, clean stripe. It's also important to note that, as with all 1943 steel pennies, there are certain error coins that are even more valuable. The most famous of these are the copper 1943 pennies. There were a small number of 1943 copper pennies mistakenly struck instead of the intended steel version. These are extremely rare and can be worth tens of thousands of dollars or more. If you are considering selling your 1943 steel-Wheat penny, you can sell it to a local coin shop, online through platforms like eBay, or even at a coin auction. However, before selling, it's important to get your coin properly graded to ensure you understand its condition and value. Professional grading services, like those offered by the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, can help you determine the grade and authenticity of your coin, which can significantly influence its sale price. Next up, the 1943 D steel-Wheat penny was minted during a time of great national need, as the US was deeply involved in World War II. During this period, copper, which was traditionally used for producing pennies, was in short supply due to its critical use in ammunition and other military equipment. In order to conserve copper for the war effort, the US Mint decided to produce pennies using steel instead, a metal that was more readily available and did not take away from the war effort. These new pennies were coated with a thin layer of zinc to prevent rusting and to give them a shiny, silvery appearance. The D mint mark on the 1943 D steel penny indicates that it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the US Mint's major coin production facilities. Along with other 1943 steel pennies produced by the Philadelphia and San Francisco Mints, millions of 1943 D steel pennies were minted, with a total of about 217 million coins produced that year. While the 1943 D steel penny was intended to be a temporary wartime measure, it did not enjoy widespread popularity with the American public. Many people were disappointed with the new coin's appearance, finding it dull and easily rusted, and the coin's lightweight and silvery finish made it seem unfamiliar. Nevertheless, the 1943 steel penny became a part of history due to the wartime conditions that led to its creation. The 1943 steel-wheat penny features the same design as the other coins in the wheat penny series. On the obverse, you'll find the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The inscription, "In God We Trust," appears at the top, with Liberty on the left side and 1943 at the bottom. On the reverse, you'll see the two wheat stalks surrounding the words 1 cent along with the motto E pluribus unum above. The mint mark D appears just below the wheat stalks, to the right of the word 1. As with other 1943 steel pennies, the 1943 D coin is made of steel coated with zinc, giving it a shiny, silvery appearance when it was first struck. Over time, however, the coin is prone to rusting, especially if it was exposed to moisture or poor storage conditions. This makes finding a well-preserved 1943 D steel penny a rare occurrence, and the condition of the coin plays a major role in determining its value. The value of a 1943 D steel-wheat penny largely depends on its condition. Since these coins were produced in large quantities, over 200 million, they are relatively common, but their condition and rarity can vary. While coins in poor or heavily worn condition can be found for just a few cents above their face value, those in better condition can command much higher prices. In circulated condition, a 1943 D steel penny is generally worth between 10 and 30 cents, depending on wear, rust, and other factors. Coins with significant rust, scratches, or fading of the design are at the lower end of the value spectrum, while those with minimal wear or discoloration might sell for slightly higher prices. For coins in better condition, such as those in good or fine condition, values can range from $1 to $3. A 1943 D steel penny in very fine or extremely fine condition, which has only minimal wear and clear details, could be worth $5 to $10 or more. However, if you have an uncirculated 1943 D steel penny, it could be worth even more, potentially reaching $20 or more, depending on the quality and demand from collectors. The key factor in determining the value of a 1943 D steel penny is its preservation. The 1943 D steel penny, like other coins from this series, is susceptible to rusting and corrosion, which can significantly affect its value. Coins that are still bright and show minimal wear or rust will generally be worth more than those that have significant corrosion. As with other steel pennies, there are no major rare or error varieties specific to the 1943 D steel-wheat penny that would drastically increase its value. However, error coins can sometimes be worth more, particularly if they exhibit significant manufacturing mistakes, such as misstrikes or unusual features. An example of a 1943 D steel penny with an error, like a double die or a misaligned strike, could be worth several times more than a regular version. If you are looking to sell a 1943 D steel-wheat penny, there are several options available. You can sell it through online marketplaces like eBay, where buyers specifically look for historical and rare coins. Alternatively, local coin dealers and coin shops are also a good place to sell these pennies, as they can offer you a valuation and potentially buy the coin directly from you. Before selling your 1943 D steel penny, it is wise to have it graded by a professional numismatist or grading service. Coin grading is an important process that helps determine the value based on the coin's condition. A coin grading service, like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, can assess your penny and give it a grade, which will help you determine its true market value. The 1943 D steel-wheat penny is a piece of American history, created during a time of national crisis, when the U.S. Mint had to find a way to conserve copper for the war effort. While it was produced in large quantities, the coin is still valuable today, especially when found in good condition. Whether you have a heavily worn or rusted penny or a well-preserved specimen, the 1943 D steel-wheat penny offers collectors a chance to own a unique, historically significant coin. As with all coins, the condition of the coin is critical to its value, so if you're fortunate enough to own a well-preserved 1943 D steel penny, it could be worth significantly more than its face value. Remember, even though millions were produced, the 1943 D steel penny remains a fascinating artifact from a critical moment in U.S. history, and it will likely continue to be a sought-after piece for coin collectors for years to come. In 1968, the United States Mint was firmly entrenched in producing clad coinage. This year marked the reintroduction of mint marks, which had been absent since 1965. Coins from 1968 were struck in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, S, and San Francisco S, with the latter focusing on proof coin production. The 1968 quarter retained John Flanagan's classic design of George Washington on the obverse and the heraldic eagle on the reverse. Subtle differences in the strike quality and details can be observed depending on the mint location. The Philadelphia Mint produced 220731500 quarters. Denver Mint 1015340000, and San Francisco Mint 30415006 proof quarters. While Philadelphia and Denver coins are plentiful in circulated conditions, San Francisco proofs are specifically targeted at collectors and are generally found in pristine condition. Circulated 1968 quarters from Philadelphia and Denver usually hold minimal value beyond their face value. However, uncirculated coins and proof coins can be quite valuable. High-grade Denver quarters are particularly sought after, with MS-67 examples fetching $50 to $200. Proof quarters from San Francisco, especially those with a cameo or deep cameo finish, can range from $10 to $50. Collectors are particularly interested in error coins from 1968. Common errors include die breaks and cuds, double dies, and improperly annealed planchets. The 1968 Washington quarter is a product of its time, reflecting the era's economic and technological transitions. While most are common, high-grade examples and error coins are worth seeking out for their numismatic value. Next up, in 1966, the United States was transitioning away from silver coinage. The Coinage Act of 1965 eliminated silver from dimes and quarters, replacing them with a copper-nickel-clad composition. This change was driven by rising silver prices and the need to ensure sufficient coinage for the growing economy. The obverse of the 1966 Washington quarter features John Flanagan's iconic portrait of George Washington, a design that had been in use since the coin's inception in 1932. Washington faces left, with the word liberty inscribed above and the motto, "In God We Trust," to his left. The date 1966 is prominently displayed below his image. The reverse depicts a bald eagle perched on a bundle of arrows, with olive branches beneath it, symbolizing strength and peace. The inscriptions United States of America and E Pluribus Unum arc above, while the denomination quarter dollar is inscribed at the bottom. 1966 saw the production of over 821 million quarters, all minted without a mint mark due to a suspension of mint marks during this period. This decision aimed to discourage hoarding and alleviate coin shortages caused by the transition to clad coinage. The large mintage number ensures that most 1966 quarters are common today. In circulated condition, a typical 1966 quarter holds minimal value beyond its face value due to its abundance. However, coins in uncirculated or higher grades can fetch prices ranging from $5 to $20. Coins graded MS-67 or higher are particularly desirable, with values exhibit striking errors, which significantly increase their value. Examples include double die obverse, DDO, off-center strikes, and clipped planchets. These errors can command prices ranging from $50 to several $100, depending on their rarity and condition. The 1966 Washington quarter might not contain silver, but its historical context and error varieties make it an interesting piece for collectors. If you're lucky enough to find one with a rare error, you could be holding a small treasure. Next up, the 1980s were a period of economic recovery and technological advancement in the United States. The 1985 Washington quarter was part of a long-running series that continued to use John Flanagan's design. Unlike earlier decades, the 1985 quarters were struck exclusively in a copper-nickel-clad composition. The obverse design features George Washington's left-facing profile with the same inscriptions as earlier coins. The reverse retains the eagle motif, a design that had become synonymous with the Washington quarter by this time. The Philadelphia Mint produced 7, 7, 5, 8, 1, 8, 9, 6, 2 quarters, and Denver Mint 5, 1, 9, 9, 6, 2, 0, 0, 0 quarters. These numbers make the 1985 quarter one of the most widely produced in the series, ensuring its availability in circulation today. Circulated 1985 quarters are generally only worth face value. However, coins in uncirculated condition can be worth $5 to $20, with MS-67 or higher examples fetching up to $150. Proof coins from this year produced at the San Francisco Mint are also popular among collectors, particularly those with deep cameo finishes. The 1985 quarter offers a range of potential errors that pique collector interest. These include rotated dies, off-center strikes, and struck-through errors. The 1985 Washington quarter represents a modern era of U.S. coinage. While most examples are common, the right error or high-grade specimen can turn an ordinary coin into a collector's prize. Next up, let's begin with the 1980 Washington quarter in fine condition. The 1980s were a dynamic time in the United States, marked by economic growth and technological advancements. Coinage during this era reflected the stability of the copper-nickel-clad composition that had been introduced in 1965. The Washington quarter, originally designed by John Flanagan in 1932, remained unchanged in its design for decades. The obverse features George Washington's left-facing profile, with Liberty inscribed above, and "In God We Trust" to his left. The date, 1980, appears prominently below Washington's profile. The reverse showcases a heraldic eagle perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches below. Surrounding the eagle are the inscriptions "United States of America" and $quarter at the bottom. In 1980, quarters were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia produced 6, 3, 5, 8, 3, 2, 0, 0, 0 quarters. Denver struck 5, 1, 8, 3, 2, 7, 0, 0, 0. And San Francisco minted 3, 5, 5, 4, 8, 0, 6 proof quarters. The high mintage numbers ensure that most 1980 quarters are still widely available in circulation. Coins in fine condition, while showing some wear, retain enough detail to be of interest to collectors. In terms of value, circulated 1980 quarters in fine condition are generally worth their face value of 25 cents. However, uncirculated coins, or those graded MS-65 or higher, can fetch anywhere from $5 to $25. Proof coins, especially those with deep cameo contrast, can command higher prices, ranging from $10 to $50, depending on their condition. Error coins from 1980 add a layer of excitement for collectors. Some of the notable errors include double die obverse, DDO, off-center strikes, and struck-through grease errors. These anomalies can increase a coin's value significantly, with rarer errors fetching hundreds of dollars at auction. While the 1980 Washington quarter is relatively common, its fine condition and potential errors make it a worthy addition to any collection. Next, let's dive into the 1970 dirty Washington quarter. By 1970, the United States had fully transitioned to clad coinage, and the Washington quarter's design had become a staple of American currency. The obverse design remained consistent with John Flanagan's original artwork, while the reverse continued to display the iconic eagle motif. Coins from this year were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, SEX, with the latter producing proof coins. Philadelphia minted 1, 3, 6, 4, 2, 0, 0, 0, 0 quarters. Denver produced 4, 1, 7, 3, 4, 1, 3, 6, 4, and San Francisco struck 2, 6, 3, 2, 8, 1, 0 proof coins. The term dirty often refers to coins with discoloration or grime from years of circulation, but these coins can still hold value, especially if they exhibit unique features or errors. Circulated 1970 quarters in average condition are usually worth their face value. However, uncirculated coins, particularly those graded MS-65 or higher, can range from $10 to $50. Proof coins from San Francisco, especially with cameo or deep cameo finishes, are sought after and can fetch $20 to $60. The 1970 quarter is also notable for its errors, including double die reverses, DDR, off-center strikes, and clipped planchets. Such errors significantly enhance the coin's desirability and value, with rare examples selling for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Collectors are drawn to the 1970 Washington quarter for its historical context and the potential for discovering valuable errors. Whether you're searching through circulated rolls or examining proof sets, the 1970 quarter offers opportunities for both beginner and experienced collectors to uncover hidden gems. Next up, we turn to the 1982 dirty Washington quarter. The early 1980s were marked by economic challenges, including inflation and a recession, which influenced coin production. In 1982, the U.S. Mint ceased producing mint sets to cut costs, resulting in fewer high-quality examples of this year's coins. The Washington quarter's design remained unchanged, with George Washington's profile on the obverse and the eagle motif on the reverse. Quarters were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, D, with no proof coins produced in San Francisco that year. Philadelphia minted 500,931,000 quarters, while Denver produced 617,806,446. Due to the absence of mint sets, finding high-grade 1982 quarters can be challenging. Most circulated examples are worth face value, but uncirculated coins, or those in MS-65 or higher grades, can command premiums of $20 to $50. The scarcity of well-preserved coins from this year adds to their appeal among collectors. Errors are another highlight of the 1982 quarter, with examples such as double die obverse, DDO, off-center strikes, and struck-through errors attracting attention. These errors can increase a coin's value dramatically, with some rare examples selling for several $100s. The 1982 Washington Quarter is a fascinating piece of numismatic history, representing a period of economic transition and reflecting the challenges faced by the U.S. Mint. Its relative scarcity in high grades and the potential for valuable errors make it a coin worth exploring. In conclusion, the 1980 fine-condition Washington Quarter, along with the 1970 and 1982 dirty quarters, offers a wealth of opportunities for collectors and enthusiasts. Each coin tells a unique story, from its historical context to its design, mintage, and errors. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting your collection, these quarters are a testament to the rich history and artistry of American coinage. So, the next time you come across one of these coins, take a closer look. You might just discover a hidden treasure. Next up, the 1995 Dirty Washington Quarter. The term dirty is often used by collectors to describe coins that have accumulated grime, discoloration, or tarnish over time. While this might detract from their visual appeal for some, others find such coins fascinating due to the history they carry. The 1995 Washington Quarter, like others in the series, features the classic design by John Flanagan. The obverse showcases George Washington's left-facing profile, with Liberty inscribed above and In God We Trust to his left. The date, 1995, is prominently displayed below the profile. The reverse depicts the heraldic eagle, a symbol of strength and unity, perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath. The inscriptions United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, and $quarter frame the design. In 1995, quarters were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver. Philadelphia produced 1,004,336,000 quarters, while Denver struck 1,103,216,000, making this year's coins abundant in circulation or with unique errors hold significant value. Circulated 1995 quarters, especially those considered dirty, typically retain their face value of 25 cents unless they exhibit rare errors or other distinguishing features. Error coins are a highlight for collectors of the 1995 quarter. Some of the notable errors include double die obverse, DDO, off-center strikes, and struck-through grease errors. These anomalies can substantially increase a coin's value, with rare examples fetching hundreds of dollars at auction. Coins with a significant amount of tarnish or grime, often referred to as dirty, may also hold collector interest if they exhibit unique patterns or are paired with other desirable traits like errors or low-grained uncirculated condition. Collectors appreciate the 1995 Washington Quarter for its accessibility and potential for discovering hidden gems among circulation. Whether searching through pocket change or coin rolls, this quarter offers an exciting entry point for new collectors while holding appeal for seasoned numismatists due to its error possibilities. Next, let's discuss the 1974 Washington Quarter in fine condition. The early 1970s were a transformative time in American history, marked by economic shifts and evolving societal values. Coinage during this period reflects the durability of the copper-nickel clad composition, introduced in 1965, following the removal of silver from circulating coins. The Washington Quarter's design remained consistent, featuring George Washington's profile on the obverse and the heraldic eagle on the reverse. In 1974, quarters were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, mint proof, in coins. Philadelphia struck 8, 0, 1, 4, 5, 6, 0, 0, 0 quarters. Denver produced 3, 5, 3, 1, 6, 0, 3, 0, 0, and San Francisco minted 2, 6, 1, 2, 5, 6, 8 proof coins. Coins in fine condition, while showing noticeable wear, retain enough detail to appeal to collectors. The 1974 quarters high mintage ensures that examples are still readily available, but coins in excellent condition or with unique characteristics can command premiums. The market value for circulated 1974 quarters in fine condition is typically their face value. However, uncirculated coins, or those graded MS-65 or higher, can range in value from $5 to $25. Proof coins from San Francisco, especially those with cameo or deep cameo finishes, are highly sought after and can fetch $20 to $50 depending on their quality. Errors are another intriguing aspect of the 1974 quarter. Common errors include double die reverses, DDR, off-center strikes, and clipped planchets. These errors can increase a coin's value significantly, with rare examples selling for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Collectors prize these coins for their unique characteristics and the challenge of locating such anomalies among high mintage years. The 1974 Washington quarter holds a special place in numismatic collections due to its historical context and design continuity. Whether in fine condition or higher grades, it remains a favorite for collectors seeking to complete year sets or uncover valuable errors. In conclusion, both the 1995 Dirty Washington quarter and the 1974 quarter in fine condition highlight the enduring appeal of this iconic series. From their historical significance to their design features, mintage numbers, and potential for discovering valuable errors, these coins offer something for every level of collector. As you continue your numismatic journey, remember to examine each coin carefully. You never know what treasures you might uncover. Thank you for watching USA Coin. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights into the fascinating world of coin collecting. Happy hunting!